A warm welcome to your Barbados Today Evening News Update, today Tuesday, April 6. No breaches of any kind. The words of Prime Minister Mia Mottley amid public debate over a Good Friday incident involving Ross Ashton, the owner of a cook shop in Deacons Road, St. Michael. She has been accused by political rivals of overstepping her powers when she spoke to police officers after they tried to stop Ashton from operating.
Do we understand what separation of powers is? Where is the breach? And that's why I started, when you started, I said, where is the breach? What is the breach? Because nobody can identify it clearly, because there was no breach of protocol and there was no breach of separation of powers. I receive a call, people ask a question, are restaurants allowed to be open? I said, yes, subject to protocols. They said, well, up and down, people here, and the police. I said, and what is the issue? The officer was there. I said, are they adhering to the social protocols, physical distancing protocols? The man said, yes. And certainly from the photographs I have seen since, they clearly were, it was an accurate description of what was happening. So let's stay focused on the matters that really, really have to concern this country, and to give these same persons who regrettably continue to be the victims of discrimination and classism in their own country a chance to be able to breathe freely and lightly. And if they do wrong, then the people pay for it. And if they don't do wrong, then equally they must be given the opportunity to live in the land of their birth. And that's all I'm asking for.
Motley told reporters she believes it's an issue of class and discrimination.
This country has to be premised on fairness and non-discrimination. And why do I keep coming back to this cancer of discrimination? Discrimination shows itself in many, 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 many different ways. And that's why I said very glibly, but very accurately, that if it was a call from Warrens or from Bridgetown or from a West Coast hotelier or a South Coast hotelier, it would be called facilitation. But because it comes from a boy in Deacons, a man in Deacons, it is now interference. Have we looked in the mirror and seen ourselves recently and asked ourselves why we are perpetuating all of these myths about who we are?
Government's vaccination drive is all set to get back on track with the arrival of 33,600 doses of the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine this morning. Just before 7 a.m., Prime Minister Mia Mottley, Health Minister Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Kenneth George, and officials from the WHO, Pan American Health Organization, and the United Nations were on hand to receive the shipment at the Grantley Adams International Airport. It's the first batch of vaccines under the COVAX facility. Barbados has been allocated 100,800 vaccines under the initiative. Minister Bostic says it's a critical boost for the ongoing fight against the viral illness.
What does this mean for us? 33,000 plus vaccines really represent 33,000 small jabs in the arms of Barbadians and residents of this country. But it represents also a significant step forward in our fight against COVID as we pursue the path towards a destination which will include seeing Barbadians being able to return to as close as possible to the quality of life that we are accustomed living, and to the livelihoods of persons residing here as well. And these vaccines will help us in the ministry to be able to manage COVID, to be able to live with COVID, so that people can enjoy what they normally enjoy. And for me, that is a very, very, very important thing. And I can't say how happy I am and the team here to be able to receive these vaccines.
The United Nations Resident Coordinator gave the assurance that the second allocation of vaccines, which will cover 20% of Barbados' population from COVAX, will arrive in the coming months.
This is an important milestone, as well as we have all learned the hard way that the virus has no borders. So we all know that we will only be able to end this crisis and pandemic by ensuring that all countries, regardless of income, are able to offer the vaccine to the entire population. Our goal is to save lives and leave no country behind.
In other news this Monday, a police constable accused of burglary was today granted $30,000 bail and ordered to return to court in November. 40-year-old DeRoy LeRon Holder from Mullins Terrace, St. Peter, is accused of entering the home of Caleb Burnett as a trespasser and stealing items totaling over $30,000 on March 26. He will return to court on November 9.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional happenings, Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has tested positive for COVID-19. More in this report from TTT News.
The Office of the Prime Minister said the Prime Minister began experiencing flu-like symptoms on Monday evening and was subsequently tested for COVID-19. Dr. Rowley said it is said to be in isolation and is under strict medical supervision. Prime Minister Rowley was called to receive the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccine this afternoon in Tobago as part of the COVID-19 vaccination program rollout today across the country.
On the international scene, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson urged his citizens to get their COVID-19 jab when invited. His comments come after a European Medicines Agency official, speaking in a personal capacity today, said there appeared to be a link with the jab and rare blood clots. Boris Johnson maintains getting vaccinated is key.
On the AstraZeneca, the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, I think that the best thing people should do is look at what the MHRA say, our independent regulator. That's why we have them. That's why they're independent. And their advice to people is to keep going out there, get your jab, get your second jab. Very, very important. I think we've now done 31.5 million people in the UK with a first jab at least. Well over 5 million for the second jab. We need to keep that going. 60% of adults have now been done, and clearly that is starting to have a beneficial effect on the trajectory of the disease.
That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.